Hey y'all, I'm dragging butt today. Sorry about that. Continuing reading through the Bible together, starting in the second chapter of the book of Haggai. In the 7th month, in the 1 and 20th day of the month, came the word of the Lord by the prophet Haggai, saying, Speak now to Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, to Joshua the son of Josedek, the high priest, and to the residue of the people, saying, Who is left among you that saw this house in her first glory? And how do ye see it now? Is it not in your eyes in comparison of it as nothing? And Haggai was called by God to revive Israel, the Jews. They had started the temple, rebuilding of the temple. I can't remember. I think 16 years before. Worked on it for 3 years and stopped. God wanted it restarted. So Haggai was the one that started that. And then he kind of got cold feet toward it, and Zephaniah took over, and Zephaniah kept them kept their feet to the fire and got the job done. I think I got all that right. You better verify it because my mind is not working. Well, I think I say that every day. Honestly, it's not working. And neither are my arms or my legs or my feet or my toes. Nothing's working. Just my mouth, and it's like that. Let me read that last sentence again. Who is left among you that saw this house in her first glory? And how do you see it now? Is it not in your eyes in comparison of it as nothing? Yet now be strong, O Zerubbabel, saith the Lord, and be strong, O Joshua, son of Josedek, the high priest, and be strong, all ye people of the land, saith the Lord, and work, for I am with you, saith the Lord of hosts. According to the word that I covenanted with you when you came out of Egypt, so my spirit remaineth among you. Fear ye not. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land. That's just about everything getting shaken. And I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come. And I will fill this house with glory, saith the Lord of hosts. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, saith the Lord of hosts. The glory of this latter house shall be greater than of the former, saith the Lord of hosts. And in this place will I give peace, saith the Lord of hosts. the 24th day of the 9th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Ask now the priest concerning the law, saying, If one bear holy flesh in the skirt of his garment, and with his skirt do touch bread, or pottage, or wine, or oil, or meat, shall it be holy? And the priest answered and said, Nope. Then said Haggai, If one that is unclean by a dead body touch it, any of these, shall it be unclean? And the priest answered and said, It shall be unclean. So you got a nope and you got a yep. Then answered Haggai and said, So is this people, and so is this nation before me, saith the Lord, and so is every work of their hands, and that which they offer there is unclean. And now I pray you, consider from this day and upward, from before a stone was laid upon a stone in the temple of the Lord, since those days were when one came to an heap of 20 measures. There were but 10. When one came to the press vat for to draw out 50 vessels out of the press, there were but 20. I smote you with blasting, and with mildew, and with hail, and all the labors of your hands, yet ye turned not to me, saith the Lord. Consider now from this day and upward, from the 24th day of the 9th month, even from the day that the foundation of the Lord's temple was laid, consider it. Is the seed yet in the barn? Yep, as yet in the vine, and the fig tree, and the pomegranate, and the olive tree hath not brought forth. From this day I will bless you. I had a, what do you call it? A fig tree orchard and a pomegranate orchard back in Texas. And what else do you? Oh, the olive tree. I didn't have any in Texas, but I had 2 in California. There were orchards out there, y'all, in the Central Valley where I lived. They were probably, I don't know, probably 800 to 1,000 acres. As far as you could see, olive trees. As far as you could see, pomegranates. Somewhere I got pictures of both, but the pomegranates you can see good because they were just about ripe and they were bright red with green leaf background. It was beautiful. And I'm sorry, I get off rambling here. There were grape vineyards all over the place. There was one big one, I don't know, probably 50 acres, 2 blocks from my house. And Sunkist, the raisin company, had probably, I don't know, 1,000 acres of vineyards. And when they harvested the grapes, they had, and I got a picture of this too, I need to find and show y'all. They had kind of like that red, no, it's not, I started to say that red meat wrapping paper, but I got a better example, the brown postage package wrapping paper. It was thick and heavy, and it was probably 3 feet or a meter wide, and they would roll that stuff between this row of grapes and this row of grapes, and then they would harvest the grapes and lay them on the ground on top of this brown paper and let them just sit there until they turn into raisins. And I've got pictures of that. That kind of made me think about eating raisins. I love raisins. I've got probably a 2 or 3 pound box of raisins, and I buy those little boxes a lot. But it made me wonder how many mice went across them, how many birds pooped on them, and out there it's like a desert except for the agriculture, and they irrigated it from the snow coming off the Sierra Nevada mountains. But how do they keep all that clean with the birds flying over and the mice running about and the dust blowing around, whatever? Anyway, and I forgot to hold my finger where I left off, so I got no idea where I'm at. Oh, there, I went right to it. Let me read that sentence. I don't even know if I finished that sentence. I saw fig trees and pomegranates, and that threw me off course there. I love pomegranates and figs. When I would be, here I'm off course again. When I'd be riding a tractor around, when there was figs that are ripe, I would just reach out and get 2 or 3 and pop them in my mouth and eat them as I went to wherever I was going. And the pomegranates were delicious. I made a lot of fig preserves. I did a lot of home canning back then, and dehydrating. Dehydrated figs are good, very good. All right. I want to play a game with y'all. How many times do I get off track during a video? I bet some of y'all couldn't count that high. I couldn't. And again, the word of the Lord came unto Haggai in the 24th day of the month, saying, Speak to Zerubbabel, Zerubbabel. I don't know how you say that dude's name. I'd hate to have that name. Anyway, speak to Zerubbabel, governor of Judah, saying, I will shake the heavens and the earth, and I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathens, and I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them, and the horses and their riders shall come down, every one by the sword of his brother. In that day, saith the Lord of hosts, will I take thee, O Zerubbabel, my servant, the son of Shealtiel, saith the Lord, and will make thee as a signet, for I have chosen thee, saith the Lord of hosts. The Lord chose him. First book of Zechariah. Zechariah is the dude that took over when Haggai got sidetracked. It's snowing again, y'all. I'm so sick of this weather up here. Y'all, somebody adopt me. I need to be adopted in a warm climate, preferably in the Caribbean. That's the prettiest place I've ever been, and I've been there 2 times. Oh, I'm not gonna. I said that to tell you something else, but I'm not gonna tell you. I talk too much and I'm tired and I hurt, so I'm just gonna wrap this thing up. In the 8th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah, the son of Berechiah. You know, my name is Stanley, not Stan, but Stanley. And when I'd get in trouble as a little boy, my mom would just call out Stanley like that. And I hate that name. So that's why I go by Stan now. And growing up, I told y'all that I went to church with mom and dad all the time. Every time the church was open, we were there. And sometimes either mom or dad would open it up for some special event or whatever. We were there then too. not a regular church service. And out front of the church, I got a picture of this too. I'm going to load y'all up with pictures if I can find them. I don't know where they're at, but I know I got them. Out in front of the church, had a big front porch all the way across. It was a brick church built, I guess, in the 60s. It was a nice church. It was a small church. It was a little country town, but it's nice. It's still nice today. Had a big porch, probably 12 foot wide, and the full width of the church. And then it had a wing off to the right and a wing off to the left at the back. That had the Sunday school rooms and so forth. And then the main part right down the middle was where you have church at. I can't think what you call it. And across the front of that porch, except where the steps were going up on it, had little, I think it was called boxwood shrubs. And I saw a picture, that still lives in that town. I got out of that town as soon as I legally could. And that was, I don't remember, I was probably 20 years old when I bought my first house and moved away. I love mom and dad to pieces. They were the best parents a person could ever hope for. They both loved the Lord probably more than anybody I ever knew before. But anyway, those boxwood shrubs across the front, it was basically the little trunk, and a few branches sticking out, and those things weren't but maybe a foot long. Every Sunday morning, be sitting in the back in the corner where the kids sat, and I'd start being a hooligan back there, and mom would come back there and grab me by the wrist and take me outside and break one of those branches off one of those boxwood trees and wear my butt out. And several times she made me pick the stick that she's gonna beat me with. That's cruel and unusual punishment there, y'all. Saw a picture of that church. Somebody that still lived in that town posted a picture of that church 4, 5, 6 years ago. And y'all, those shrubs were a meter high, and each one was about a meter wide, and it was covered with branches and pretty leaves and all. I guess there ain't no more Stanleys. living there now. After I left, or after I got too old to get my butt whipped, that they started growing again. And evidently, nobody came in there to take my place when I was gone because those bushes look nice. Now I got no idea where I was at. That's where I was at. I saw by night, and behold, a man riding upon a red horse, and he stood among the myrtle trees that were in the bottom. My, those trees were on my bottom, not in my bottom. They were all over my bottom. And behind him were the red horse, the red horses speckled and white. Then said I, O Lord, O my Lord, what are these? And the angel that talked with me said unto me, I will show thee what these be. And the man that stood among the myrtle trees answered and said, These are they whom the Lord hath sent to walk to and fro through the earth. And they answered the angel of the Lord that stood among the myrtle trees and said, We have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sitteth still, and is at rest. Then the angel of the Lord answered and said, O Lord of hosts, how long wilt thou not have mercy on Jerusalem and on the cities of Judah, against which thou hast had indignation these 60 years? And the Lord answered the angel that talked with me with good words and comfortable words. So the angel that communed with me said unto me, Cry thou, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. Therefore saith the Lord, I am returned to Jerusalem with my mercy, with mercies. My house shall be built in it, saith the Lord of hosts, and a line shall be stretched forth upon Jerusalem. Cry yet, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, my cities through prosperity shall yet be spread abroad, and the Lord shall yet comfort Zion, and shall yet choose Jerusalem. Then lifted I up mine eyes, and saw, and behold, 4 horns. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, What be these? And he answered me, These are the horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. And the Lord showed me 4 carpenters. Then said I, What come these to do? And he spake, saying, These are the horns which have scattered Judah, so that no man did lift up his head. But these are come to fray them, and to cast out the horns of the Gentiles, which lifted up their horn over the land of Judah, to scatter it. That's all I'm going to do, y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. God bless y'all. Now I'm going to crank the heat up a couple of notches so I don't freeze my rear. It's already froze, I think, and that's not good. I love you. God bless you, friends.